Hello, my name is EVARISTO Trevino. I'm a Mexican lawyer. I have a Master of Laws in Chinese law, and I have been living in Hong Kong for the last 15 years. I do international trade law between China and Latin America mostly. I have been living in Hong Kong since 2006, so almost 15 years. Well, actually, I moved initially to Hong Kong to study. I came here to study a Master of Laws in Chinese and Comparative Law, hoping that I was going to stay 2 to 3 years between studying and work, and it's been 15. So first idea to move to Hong Kong was for studying and a little bit of experience, but I ended up staying here. Well, neither. Well, it's a city, of course, but Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China, or the People's Republic of China. As Mexico, for example, has states and municipalities in the geopolitical division, China has provinces, autonomous regions, municipalities, and 2 special administrative regions. One of them is Hong Kong, the other one is Macau. So Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China. Yes, well, I think a few. First is lunches. So business lunches are quite common, and business dinners are quite common in China and in also the West, and that is also happening in Hong Kong. The other is the exchange of gifts. For China is quite particular. Usually also Western, when they come, they bring a gift. We just need to be a little bit aware of the type of gift we bring to our Chinese partners, because there are some things that, according to Feng Shui, may be a little bit sensible. Yes, well, I think the main industries that are suffering in Hong Kong are F&B, hospitality, and gyms mainly. Obviously the airline industry with Cathay Pacific. Hong Kong is a region that in 2018 hosted 65 million tourists, and 51 of them were from Mainland China. So the hospitality and the F&B is a very important part of the industry, and they have been really hurt because the borders have been closed for a while now because of the COVID measures. In addition to that, the local consumers, which used to go to restaurants and dine out all the time, are also restricted because of the number of people that can be in a restaurant and the opening times also for COVID. Another very important industry that has been hurt is the retail industry, especially the luxury retail, also because of all these Chinese tourists that were coming to Hong Kong, and they were doing a lot of luxury shopping. In terms of overcoming, I don't know specific stories of how people have overcome. I know that people have been very resilient to this crisis, and they have been collaborating with their companies in taking some cuts in salaries or taking unpaid leave to alleviate a little bit the financial burden of the companies in order to maintain employment. The Hong Kong government has also imposed or granted some financial aid for companies to maintain employment, and for families also to have some additional spending cash in Hong Kong. Well, Hong Kong has a very pivotal role to play in 2 of the most important initiatives of China these days, the Belt and Road Initiative and the Greater Bay Area. In both initiatives, Hong Kong will be the place to raise funds and capital for the projects of the Belt and Road and the GBA. And in addition of being an important financial center, it will play a very important role as a center for dispute resolution, in particular to the Belt and Road Initiative, where there are plenty of jurisdictions doing business, and Hong Kong has 1 very comprehensive arbitration law, 2 top international arbitration center, and an independent judiciary with judges from several places of the Commonwealth that are prepared to pick up on these challenges. Definitely financial services will be very beneficial in the coming years. the legal and service providing industry will also be very enriched in the coming years. I think food is one of the most important products that Mexico could export to China via Hong Kong or to Hong Kong, both perishables and other food products, some beverage as well. I believe that Mexico has a huge potential in terms of certain commodities like metals, gold and silver, and particularly silver will be very important for all the technology being developed in China. Well, I believe that Hong Kong continues to be a perfect place to set up shop when entering into China. It is a perfect place to test the Chinese market. It is a place that it is still affordable to make a mistake, whereas in China, if you make a mistake, that may end up in bankruptcy. In Hong Kong, you still have a little bit of a chance to make mistakes and be able to correct them. That is number one, and number two, to take advice from companies or people who know what they're doing. Very important. Well, being part of the Mexican Chamber of Commerce is being part of a community. If you're Latin America coming into Hong Kong, it is a perfect spot to land because you will meet people that have faced the same challenges that you were about to face. The Mexican Chamber of Commerce has also been a point of reference for certain government agencies, or like Invest Hong Kong or the HKTDC, so they always relate to the Mexican Chamber of Commerce. The Mexican Chamber of Commerce also has very good and close connections and network with official consulates of not only of Mexico but other places in Latin America, and has been also a point of reference when there are missions, travel missions that come into Hong Kong, both private and public. Private, for example, the fintech community of Mexico coming to Hong Kong, they always meet with the Chamber of Commerce and there's always an event around that. Or for example, when there is Asia Fruit Logistica, a very important expo in Hong Kong, the Mexican Chamber gathers the Mexican producers with Chinese buyers and local buyers, so that is very important. To mention a few examples in the private sector. In the public sector, when you have state governments visiting Hong Kong, there's always an event around it in a way that the official government can have a direct contact with businessmen in Hong Kong, Mexican business or Latin American businessmen in Hong Kong, and they can understand the challenges and also the opportunities that their states could have in front of them.